Let's start, though, with the big breaking Formula One news today that both Ferrari drivers have been disqualified from the Chinese Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton finished 5th and 6th, their cars both failed post-race technical checks. Alpine's Pierre Gasly has also been disqualified. Craig Slater is alongside me. Lots to get through then. Why have they all been disqualified?
Leclerc, Gasly already disqualified, and now confirmation that Lewis Hamilton has also been disqualified. It was due to excessive wear on his skid blocks. That's beneath the car. It was supposed to come in at 9mm, and Craig Slater was explaining a little bit earlier, when it was measured, it was only 8.6mm, so less than half a millimetre, and it means that he too has been disqualified. Not wanting to steal Craig's line, but going to anyway. Red faces for Ferrari after both their drivers were disqualified from the Chinese Grand Prix.
What started as a promising weekend for Ferrari in Shanghai quickly descended into a technical nightmare that cost them valuable championship points. Lewis Hamilton's brilliant sprint victory on Saturday showcased the potential of the Ferrari partnership, but Sunday's events revealed the cracks beneath the surface. In a dramatic turn of events, both Ferrari drivers, Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, were disqualified from the Chinese Grand Prix, leaving the team with 0 points from what should have been a solid 5th and 6th place finish. The technical infractions that led to their disqualification weren't just simple oversights. They were precisely the kind of errors that Ferrari had feared might plague their early season. And now these fears have materialized in the most public way possible. Let's know what exactly went wrong in Shanghai and why these disqualifications represent a significant setback in Hamilton's Ferrari journey. The FIA scrutineers delivered a double blow to Ferrari following the Chinese Grand Prix. Both cars failed post-race technical checks, but for completely different reasons. This rare occurrence resulted in the Italian team losing a combined 18 points in a championship where every point matters. Leclerc's car was found to be 1 kilogram under the minimum 800 kilogram weight requirement, while Hamilton's car had excessive wear on the wooden plank underneath the car, exceeding the permissible limit by just half a millimeter. The margins were small, but in Formula One, the rules are absolute. There is no gray area when it comes to technical regulations.
Through then, why have they all been disqualified?
Two separate rules breaches in the case of the two Ferrari drivers, both relating to the car dimensions, which have to follow a certain set of rules. It has to be an even contest for all the different teams. In Lewis Hamilton's case, it was the skid block underneath his car which was found to be worn too thin, worn thinner than the legal requirement, which is 9mm, okay? So his was 8.5mm thick. That's, I'll show you in a minute. It's basically the width of your ID pass, Rob, which I've just taken from you to illustrate that.
Make sure you don't show the picture.
I'll show that in a moment. But the reason they have that limit is to stop the cars running too low. If you can run your car close to the ground, it gives a competitive advantage. They have to set the benchmark somewhere. Why has that happened? Well, it's a sprint weekend. They're changing the setup of the car without practice sessions to properly monitor it. And just to double confirm while I've got this is your ID pass. Less than the width of this is the margin by which Lewis Hamilton has been disqualified from the Grand Prix today, but they have to draw the line somewhere, and the team accept there's no mitigating circumstances. In Charles Leclerc's case, there is a minimum weight for the cars, and that's because the lighter your car, the quicker it goes.
The Steward's decision documents confirm that Ferrari acknowledged these were genuine errors with no mitigating circumstances. This admission left no room for appeal, and both drivers were promptly removed from the final classification. Pierre Gasly of Alpine was also disqualified for an underweight car, making it a busy day for the stewards in China. But the double Ferrari disqualification captured the headlines, especially given Hamilton's high-profile move to the Italian team for 2025. The FIA technical delegate Joe Bauer conducted measurements on Hamilton's car that revealed the thickness of the plank assembly was below the required minimum. The measurements showed 8.6 millimeters on the left-hand side, 8.6 millimeters at the car's center line, and 8.5 millimeters on the right-hand side, all below the 9 millimeter minimum specified in Article 3.5.9 of the technical regulations. During the hearing, Ferrari representatives confirmed the measurements were correct and that all procedures had been properly performed. The team acknowledged there were no mitigating circumstances, admitting it was simply an error in their calculations. With regard to Lewis's skid wear, we misjudged the consumption by a small margin, Ferrari explained in their official statement. There was no intention to gain any advantage. This small margin, just half a millimeter, cost Hamilton 8 valuable championship points and raised serious questions about Ferrari's technical operations. Leclerc's disqualification stemmed from a different technical violation. His car was found to be underweight by just 1 kilogram following the standard post-race procedures. Initially, Leclerc's car weighed exactly 800 kilograms, right on the minimum limit when it first returned to the pits. However, his front wing had been damaged in a first-lap collision with Hamilton. When the FIA retrieved the broken end plate and weighed the car with it, and then with an official spare front wing, the weight increased to 800.5 kilograms. The critical moment came when fuel was drained from the car. As part of standard procedure, 2 liters of fuel were removed for testing, following Ferrari's own submitted draining procedure. After this, the car weighed just 799 kilograms, 1 kilogram below the minimum requirement. Ferrari attributed this weight loss to Leclerc's one-stop strategy. The team explained, "Charles was on a one-stop strategy today, and this meant his tire wear was very high, causing the car to be underweight." But as Sky Sports F1's Bernie Collins pointed out, "I don't know where the loss in mass has come from." This uncertainty suggests Ferrari might not have fully accounted for all factors affecting the car's weight throughout the race. What makes these disqualifications particularly troubling is the technical context surrounding them. Both infractions point to potential issues with Ferrari's approach to managing their cars during a race weekend. Hamilton's sprint victory on Saturday showcased Ferrari's potential, but also led to setup changes for Sunday's main race. These adjustments, intended to improve performance, may have contributed to the technical failures. Bernie Collins explained, "I don't think it's unusual to change setup after the sprint because you know in the sprint that you're never going to run 100 kilograms of fuel. One of those changes could be raising your ride height because you know you will have to start on higher fuel." Hamilton himself admitted the changes had backfired. He said, "Ultimately, we had a pretty decent car in the sprint, and then we made some changes because we were trying to move forwards and improve the car, and we made it quite a bit worse, basically, going into qualifying. Then it was even worse in the race." These comments reveal a disconnect between Ferrari's technical decisions and on-track performance, a worrying sign for a team hoping to challenge for championships. Hamilton was the only driver in the top 10 to execute a 2-stop strategy in the race. He started on medium tires, pitting for hards on lap 3, and then again for hards on lap 37 in the 56-lap race. This aggressive strategy may have contributed to the excessive wear on his car's plank. As Bernie Collins said, "The 2-stopper will lead to pushing more on each lap. The only slight counter to that for Lewis is because he did 2 stints on the hard, he goes through that graining phase, which does control the pace a little bit." The harder pushing throughout the race likely increased the bottoming out of the car, accelerating plank wear beyond Ferrari's calculations. This suggests the team failed to correctly model how their setup decisions would interact with Hamilton's racing style and strategy. The FIA stewards noted there were no mitigating circumstances for the infringement, indicating Ferrari couldn't prove any external factors had contributed to the excessive wear. This points to a clear miscalculation by the team. What makes these disqualifications particularly frustrating is that they're not without precedent. Hamilton has experienced this exact same issue before, being disqualified from the 2023 United States Grand Prix for excessive plank wear while driving for Mercedes. Remarkably, Leclerc was also disqualified from that same race for the identical reason. The fact that both drivers have now encountered similar technical violations with Ferrari suggests the team hasn't learned from past experiences. George Russell's disqualification from the 2023 Belgian Grand Prix provides another relevant precedent. Russell was stripped of his victory when his Mercedes was found to be underweight, just like Leclerc's Ferrari in China. At the time, Mercedes attributed the underweight car to excessive tire wear from a one-stop strategy, the exact same explanation Ferrari has now offered for Leclerc's disqualification. These patterns raise serious questions about Ferrari's technical operations. Have they failed to learn from their competitors' mistakes, or do these recurring issues point to deeper problems within the team's engineering approach? The double disqualification has had significant consequences for both Ferrari and the championship standings. The team lost 18 valuable constructor points, dropping from 4th to 5th in the standings. They now sit 61 points behind leaders McLaren and 40 points behind Mercedes, a substantial gap to overcome. In the Drivers' Championship, Hamilton finds himself 9th with just 9 points, 8 of which came from his sprint victory. Leclerc is 10th with 8 points. This puts both drivers far behind championship leader Lando Norris, who has 44 points.
It is a completely new chapter. I feel the previous chapters have been as great as they could be. And they've been, I really generally feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion's move to the iconic Italian team, has generated immense excitement and anticipation for the 2025 season. This article examines Hamilton's initial experiences with Ferrari, the potential implications for the upcoming championship battle, and the reactions from various stakeholders in the Formula One community. Hamilton's arrival at Ferrari represents the fulfillment of a long-held ambition. The British driver has expressed his elation at joining the Scuderia, describing the experience as invigorating and emotionally charged. In a recent interview, Hamilton stated,
I swear, I'm getting the biggest buzz every time I just put my kit on.
This enthusiasm extends to his surroundings at Ferrari's historic headquarters in Maranello, where he finds himself in awe of the legacy that surrounds him. The significance of this move is not lost on Hamilton.
I walk out and there's the Ferrari sign. I'm like, I'm actually really here. I'm in Enzo's, in this beautiful old building that Enzo had his office in.
This statement shows the historical weight of Hamilton's decision to join Ferrari and his appreciation for the team's storied past. Hamilton's commitment to contributing to Ferrari's legacy is evident in his words.
And just each day, just reminded that I'm really, it's really happening. I'm really here. I'm very proud of the Shield, and I just really want to work as hard as I can with the great people here to elevate them and the brand as high as possible.
This declaration demonstrates Hamilton's determination to achieve success with his new team and add to Ferrari's illustrious history. The transition to Ferrari has been an emotionally charged experience for Hamilton. He described his first week with the team as definitely very emotional. The driver elaborated on the atmosphere at Fiorano, Ferrari's private test track, stating,
honestly, I think every time we arrive here and you see the crowd, you see everyone in the garage, it's always emotional here because it's just like even seeing John today, just thinking, geez, it's like we've been friends for years, and did we ever know that we'll be working together? The hope was there, but we needed the stars to align, and they did finally.
This insight into the personal connections behind Hamilton's move adds depth to the story of his transition to Ferrari. The British driver emphasized the positive atmosphere within the team, saying,
I never thought at this point in my life I would have this excitement each day. Like, I'm getting to work with a new group of people. I am massively challenged with the things, the hurdles that are ahead in terms of learning as fast as you can to be ready to fight for a championship. But we're doing everything we can to make sure that we're as ready as it can be.
This observation suggests that Hamilton has quickly integrated into the Ferrari family and feels supported in his new environment. Hamilton's decision to join Ferrari comes after a challenging period with Mercedes. The last 3 seasons proved difficult for the British driver as Mercedes struggled to adapt to the latest generation of ground effect racing cars. Hamilton wasn't in his happy place during this time, and the toll of inconsistent performances was evident. Despite these challenges, Hamilton proved he could still operate at his peak, as demonstrated by his stunning win at the British Grand Prix. However, the inconsistency, particularly in one-lap speed, was a source of frustration for the 7-time world champion. Hamilton elaborated on the timing of his move, stating,
it feels natural, it feels right, just the timing, it couldn't have been better for me. And as I said last night, just like I got this, it's invigorating to have this like new burst of energy.
This sentiment reflects Hamilton's belief that the move to Ferrari has come at the perfect moment in his career, providing him with renewed motivation and excitement. The driver's enthusiasm is palpable in his words.
I never thought at this point in my life I would have this excitement each day. Like, I'm getting to work with a new group of people. I am massively challenged with the hurdles that are ahead in terms of learning as fast as you can to be ready to fight for a championship. But we're doing everything we can to make sure that we're as ready as it can be.
One of the most intriguing aspects of Hamilton's move is his assessment of Ferrari's capabilities. The British driver has been unequivocal in his belief that Ferrari possesses all the necessary elements to compete for a world championship. Hamilton stated,
I do believe this team has absolutely everything it needs in order to win, and I think we just got to build one step at a time.
Hamilton's confidence in Ferrari's potential stems from his extensive experience with championship-winning teams. He explained, I've worked with 2 world championship-winning teams before, and I know what a winning team looks and feels like. This insight allows Hamilton to recognize the qualities that define a successful Formula One team, and he sees these attributes in abundance at Ferrari. The driver highlighted the passion and dedication he has observed within the team. Hamilton remarked, the passion here is like nothing you have ever seen. They have got every ingredient they need to win a world championship. It's just about putting all the pieces together. This assessment suggests that Hamilton believes Ferrari has the foundation necessary for success, with the challenge now being to optimize their resources and execute effectively. Hamilton acknowledges that the path to success is not guaranteed, stating,
and we don't know what everyone else is bringing, so we'll get to Bahrain and we'll just keep our head down and focus on doing our job and maximizing our 3 days, and we'll see how we are when we turn up to Melbourne. But one thing for sure, no stone will be unturned, and we just keep on pushing. There's a massive push here, which is great to see.
Hamilton has praised the leadership at Ferrari, mentioning key figures such as team principal Fred Vasseur, Ferrari president John Elkann, and CEO Benedetto Vigna. He commended their approach, stating, we've got great leaders in Fred, John, and Benedetto, and everyone just has a really calm and good approach. The British driver also emphasized the team's commitment to continuous improvement. Hamilton said, no one is like, we're perfect in every single area. Everyone wants to elevate everywhere, and they are leaving no stone unturned to do that. Hamilton will be partnering with Charles Leclerc, who has been with Ferrari since 2019. The 27-year-old Leclerc has already stated that it is the best team mentality he has felt in his time at the Italian Scuderia. This positive dynamic between the 2 drivers could prove crucial in Ferrari's quest for championship success. Hamilton's first experience with Ferrari's 2025 car, the SF25, has been overwhelmingly positive. The driver expressed his excitement about the new machine, stating,
it's nothing like the car that I had before. Over the last 10, 12, 17 years.
The British driver was particularly impressed by the sensory experience of driving the SF25. Hamilton remarked,
to feel the vibration of a Ferrari engine for the first time, wow, that's what I think ultimately put the biggest smile on my face.
Hamilton elaborated on his first experience with the SF25, saying,
and I've been waiting such a long time for it, so firing the car up, it's like such a new, uncharted journey, and it's the most exciting thing that's happened to me in as long as I can remember.
The driver also touched on the visual aspect of his new role, stating,
I'd always seen all the drivers that have come before me in red and wondered whether, how that would look on me. And it's a real honor to be able to wear this badge and to wear this suit. So I hope I swag it out and make it look good.
Ferrari has stated that the SF25 is 99% new compared to its predecessor, indicating a significant evolution in the team's technical approach. Hamilton acknowledged the hard work behind the car's development, saying, my first few weeks have been absolutely incredible, and I've seen firsthand the passion and dedication of the entire team. So the unveiling today of my first ever Scuderia Ferrari HP car is really exciting. So much hard work has gone into preparing for the season ahead, and we couldn't be more hungry or determined to succeed. While Hamilton is clearly excited about his move to Ferrari, he remains focused on the ultimate goal of winning the World Championship. When asked about the prospect of securing an 8th title, Hamilton framed it in terms of his new team. He said, "To me, it would be the first. Winning the championship for Ferrari is the first. That's what I'm working towards." This perspective demonstrates Hamilton's commitment to his new team and his desire to contribute to Ferrari's legacy. He elaborated, "I don't think about the number 8. I'm thinking about the first championship that the team's won for some time. Although they've already had many world championships over the history, the renowned designer Adrian Newey's departure from Red Bull Racing and subsequent joining of Aston Martin has ignited both anticipation and apprehension for the Silverstone-based team. This development signifies a notable shift in the F1 landscape, with potential implications for the 2025 season and beyond. Aston Martin experienced fluctuating performance in recent years. The team had a strong 2023 season with Fernando Alonso securing 8 podium finishes. This included an impressive streak of 6 consecutive podiums at the start of the year. The success raised hopes for continued competitiveness. However, the 2024 season proved challenging for Aston Martin. The team struggled to maintain its earlier momentum, ultimately finishing 5th in the Constructors' Championship. This result left them 374 points behind 4th-placed Mercedes, while managing to stay 29 points ahead of 6th-placed Alpine. Despite the underwhelming on-track results, Aston Martin executed a significant move by securing Adrian Newey from Red Bull Racing. This acquisition represents a potential game-changer for the team's future prospects. Adrian Newey's reputation in Formula One is unparalleled. His track record speaks volumes about his impact on the sport. Over 200 race wins, 26 combined Drivers' and Constructors' World Championships. Success with multiple teams including Williams, McLaren, and Red Bull. Newey's ability to interpret and exploit technical regulations has been a key factor in his success.